Welcome to Colony. My name is Niall Connolly, Connolly O'Connolly, part of the Misspelled Anagrams Gig Association. This is Brandon Wild, Len Monachello, Chris Foley, we got Julia on sound, we got Brendan behind the bar. Everything's gonna be okay for the next little while. This is a song I wrote for my daughter when she was about a week old. I was thinking about my parents and their parents and everyone who came before, hoping I wouldn't mess it up immediately. Everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright. I was thinking about my mother and my father and their fathers and their mothers too, as I stood above your cradle looking down at you into your eyes, so new and blue, so new and blue. For a moment I swear I saw them lining up, looking back at me through you. Say everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright. In these houses, if you wanna cry, you can cry anytime you like. It's alright, it's alright. I was thinking about my mother and all the hardship that she knew, and my father and all the suffering he went through. Never gave it to us, won't give it to you. Never gave it to us, won't give it to you. Won't give it to you. You don't have to smile, you don't feel like smiling, though the sky is blue and the sun is shining in your heart. You might feel like hiding, but it's alright, it's alright. In this house, if you wanna cry, you can cry anytime you like. It's alright, it's alright. Everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright, everything's just fine, everything's alright. Thank you very much. Thank you for that echoey round of applause, that gentle round of applause. The kind of round of applause a professional golf player might get when he misses an easy shot. But that's okay, we'll start off gentle. We'll work up to the soccer hooligan applause. Thank you also for that solitary, lonely, that hesitation. That's called a hesitation woo in the business, where the person presumes that everyone else has enjoyed the song as much as them, and they begin with the woo, and then they find that they're unaccompanied and they get nervous, or they want to applaud the beholder of said woo on your courage, and I hope your future woos will be less lonesome. This is a song called We Don't Have to Talk About It. It's about that. I know you hear the call of the wave, the smell of the sun and the rock. Take a quiet step back, friend, I wouldn't want you to fall. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to talk. time walking around town, waiting on the last bus. We gotta get home, we gotta get home. Oh, we don't have to talk about it if you don't wanna talk. If you wanna talk about it, you can call me anytime you want. I know you get tempted by the third rail late at night. Never used to understand it then, but you do now sometimes. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it if you don't wanna talk. If you wanna talk about it, you can call me anytime you want. Running up, tore it up, fed it to the seagulls below. Didn't wanna burn it, any of us needed something living to know. Oh, we don't have to talk about it if you don't wanna talk. If you wanna talk about it, you can call me anytime you want. No, we don't have to talk about it if you don't wanna talk. If you wanna talk about it, you can call me anytime you want.
Go Margaret, thank you very much. Wrote this one early on in the pandemic. Do you remember we were all going to the supermarket dressed as astronauts? Those of you with glasses, do you remember the particular challenge of like wearing the mask and the glasses and they all get fogged up and you get a text message, you're trying to race through the supermarket without dying and you get a text message from your significant other and you're like, oh no, I gotta do something. Something has to change in the system for me to be able to read this message. Do I love this person enough to risk reading this message? One of the, there was a couple of redeeming moments in that terrible time, and one of them was, I was just thinking this before the man walked in, one of my favourite things about that terrible time was Niall's monologues that he would do inside the empty colony, and I hope that those are stored somewhere, Niall, in the on some hard drive somewhere to be released on the DVD extra. But he would do these little theatrical monologues inside in the empty colony, and I found them fantastic. How are you? This is called Maybe Next Year, and it's about the world during that time, trying to imagine this time and just reminding ourselves that things can get better too, which is something I'm trying to remind myself again. I got new glasses, so I put my set list like 8 feet away from me just to get my money's worth out of my glasses. I think Lenny's going to play the mandolin in this one. There are 3 songs in it. He's played 75 instruments already. 2, 3, 4.
Maybe next year I get home for a week or 2. Keep the workload light, have some quiet time with you. I miss my family and my hometown, the evening summer hue. Maybe next year you can come over here any chance you get to. Always room in my house, always room for you. Nobody sleeping in your bed, nobody touching your foot. Always room in my house for you. If I don't see you here, I will be coming to you. Maybe next year, if we all make it through. Got a bag of tunes and a box of strings. In my pen and broom for any trouble I might bring. I've been mapping out tours of my favorite rooms, and scheming of playing them with you. If I don't see you here, I will be coming to you. Maybe next year, if we all make it through. If I don't see you here, I will be coming to you. Maybe next year, when we all make it through. Come on, guys, thank you. Everybody okay? Yeah, good.
All of these so far are on the Patience of Trees, which is available for purchase and theft this evening. Conveniently located out there, out of my sight, next to the open door.
I heard your song come on the radio last night. What a surprise! Your voice just like an octave, reaching for the stars on a moonless night. Pulled me out of my own shadow, into your light, into your light. Oh, I hope you're doing alright. It must be 10 years since I've seen you now. You were trying out, passing through, spent a few nights on my couch. You spoke mostly of your wife, and though your words were only kind, I knew something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right. I heard your song come on the radio last night. What a surprise! Your voice just like an oak tree, reaching for the stars on a moonless night. Pulled me out of my own shadow and into your light, into your light. Oh, I hope you're doing alright. Last I heard you were in Australia. You put the guitar away. You were painting again. Spirit animals, cloud formations, the desert sky at night. Oh, my friend, I hope you find a way to keep your mind light, to keep it light. Oh, I hope you're doing alright. you.
I made a potentially terrible mistake today. I didn't have any coffee here tonight, and I'm not drinking at the moment, so I really wanted a coffee, and I went down to Cumberland Farms, and I bought the big coffee. I temporarily forgot that I was in America, and the big is far too big. This is like half of the big coffee, so I'm probably going to do the second half of the gig in 45 seconds. It's a real pleasure to be here, though. I love this place. Do most of you live nearby, or do you? Anyway, what a great thing to have in the town, and thanks to Neil and Lexi and everybody for keeping it going, because it's a really lovely haven for musicians, and I'm always happy to be invited to play here. This is a song called "Distracted," and it's about being distracted, I think.
Not about me. I'm only here for a minute, and I know that I can't fix it.
fix it. I can help even just a little bit. Won't you let me try? And I promise that I will try not to make it any worse. Steal a little bit of the hurt. If I could be your human shield, if I could be a samurai, I cut down your enemy, me, and I pull you through a riot. But it's not about me. I'm only here for a minute, and I know that I can fix it. I can help even just a little bit, but the memory won't forget us. No matter how it's tried, no matter all the time or the work, no matter how it's tried. If I could be your human shield, if I could be your night side, I cut down your enemy, and I pull you through a riot. If I could be your human shield, if I could be a samurai, I cut down your enemy, and I pull you through a riot. But it's not about me. I'm only here for a minute, and I know that I can fix it. I can help even just a little bit. Won't you let me try? Thank you. I wrote this one. This is from an album that came out in 2015 called All We Have Become. It's a song called Corridors. I wrote it. I was living in an apartment in Brooklyn at the time where you can see the kind of apartment where you can hear all parts of life happening at the same time, if you know what I mean. If you think you know what I mean, you do. But I had these neighbors. They adopted a baby. I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt. She was never pregnant, they suddenly had a baby. Hopefully, best case scenario is they adopted the baby. But I remember I came home late one night I was at home and I could hear the new arrival in the building crying quietly through the wall, and I thought, oh, that's beautiful, new life in the buildings, American. And then I thought, oh God, if I can hear that baby crying gently, what have they had to hear out of me in the last few years? But it was this apartment, it was in kind of Windsor Terrace. It was in Windsor Terrace, but the landlord thought it was Park Slope. So it was kind of like geographically Windsor Terrace, financially Park Slope. And I had this landlord who was like, if any of this wasn't true, it would be sort of problematic for me to share, but I'm going to share it anyway. And my landlord was this mustachioed Italian guy called Vinny that I had to pay in cash at Pizza Town every month. And every month he would say, I would go in there with like all of my money in a brown envelope. And I don't know why the envelope has to be brown. It has to be brown, that's the rule. But I'd walk in there and I'd hand over all my money to Vinny, and he would say like, not working today? Vinny, you know I work nights, like this is how it works. Like I do about 1 million gigs a month, so I can give you all my money. This is like always. I lived there for 6 years, and like, whatever, 6 by 12, 72 times this happened. That you're not working today, and he would call. Every once, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, your landlord needs to call you, and he would call me. And inevitably, when he called me, I would be on tour. And I don't know if you've had that experience of being abroad and your phone ringing and going like, It's going to cost me $1.78 plus taxes a minute to answer this phone, but if I don't, it's going to be something problematic, so I'd answer the phone and say, hey Vinny, I'm in Germany. And you go, always on vacation, huh? I'm working for you, working. But I came home this one time, and I was coming back from Germany, and my flight got diverted through Atlanta. It was like just one of those like travel days that seemed to last forever. And my wife had not told me that there had been a problem with the heating, and that Vinny was coming to the apartment to check the heating, you know. So Vinny was convinced that I do nothing and leech off my wife when I'm always on holiday. That's probably him on the phone. I'm working, Vinny. Where was I? Oh yeah, I came back from Germany, and I walked my wife to the bus in the morning, and I went back to bed. And Vinny came around the house to fix the heating, which unfortunately was next to the bed. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I slept through Vinny fixing the radiator next to my head, confirming all of his suspicions about me. Anyway, that's my short story about me and Vinny.
We live in boxes, on boxes. It's a high price to pay for a little privacy. Still I got door handles and curtains, 2 rooms and 3 keys. I come with time to believe these things necessities. Newborn neighbor cries. Come home late, I try to come home quiet, and in the morning we nod and smile in the corridors. The days on the calendar in boxes aligned like these voices as they bounce around these high rise. We think we got it figured out based on our time till we get our comeuppance and they take us by surprise. Downstairs neighbors fight when they call it in, you just let it go. We nod and smile in the corridors. Walking through the cemetery, a marble left a marble carved memory. Downtown a new tower rising through the gaping wound on the horizon, reminding us if we need reminding. All is fragile, use your time well, 'cause we are more than these mortgage boxes, more than the sheetrock corridor. Yeah, we are more than these corridors. We live in boxes we'll go.
Thank you. Anybody here seeing us for the first time? Well, welcome. I should have given you a little health and safety announcement at the beginning. I play a lot of sad songs. I bring you way, way down, and then I bring you most of the way back up before the end of the gig. You leave then feeling like I cheered you up, but that's not really what happened. So there is, of course, an inherent danger should you have to leave before the end. That was just to be clear, that was still in the downward spiral there. That was not what I would consider an uplifting. This one's called Sea Area Forecast, and it's a song about leaving home and shipping news and talking lighthouses and mad fishermen and fishy skies. Sea area forecast, AM radio on the long drive home. I threw a life by, I walked away. How could you ever leave this place? Do not mistake it for courage. I was not brave enough to stay. I threw a life by, I walked away. I threw a life by, I walked away. Johnny Rose is singing his band, singing all night long. Love is lost, is hurt, is shame to the broken horizon. I threw a life by, I walked away. I threw a life by, I walked away. I walked away. Walked away. The mackerel sky is humming now, the storm is coming in. Johnny says, I wish the world was truly flat, wouldn't come bouncing back again. I threw a life by, I walked away. I threw a life by, I walked away. 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 Sea area forecast, AM radio on the long drive home. Thanks so much. Did you ever notice that there's hundreds, probably thousands of songs about trains and comparatively few about buses? There's at least as many buses as there are trains in the world. And what is like, what's up with that? And the ones that are about buses, they tend to be about the intercity bus, the famous bus like the Greyhound bus or the National Express. What about the humble inner city bus, you ask? I agree. This one's called Q53 Bus Song, and it begins and ends on the Q53 bus, like many a good night out. The Q53, of course, goes from Woodside in Queens to Rockaway Beach. We brought a sample of the bus there for any of you forest people who've never heard a bus before.
take the bus, late night ride across Queens, me and the driver in a travel magazine. We go, go, go past the brown baggers at the Yemeni store, to the forgotten monument down by the shore. The ocean used to make me calm, it doesn't do that anymore, not anymore. I stop in the Playland Motel for one last one again, and the barman is so fucking slow. Think his name is Simon or Steven or Sam. Yo, what's up? What can I get you, man? I'll have a well whiskey, a Miller High Life tall boy, a fleeting sense of freedom, an illusion of choice. Can you do that for me, Sam? To the kitchen door, looking up at the trees from the peel and stick floor with the strangest sensation. I've been here before. When you're down on the ground, you can't get any lower till you go, go, go. I go home to my 42-inch screen, the final episode of Jeopardy. What is the sad, slow death of the American dream? Cows of yellow and red, the working man a place, his money to spend, and the emperor puts his name on it. The fake horses know he's a real horse shit. We're going round and round and round, round and round and round. Sometimes I wanna go, 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 where absolutely nobody knows my name. Late night ride across Queens, me and the driver in a travel magazine. We go, 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 absolutely nobody knows our name. Go, go, go.
Wrote that song, called it the Q53 bus, put it out into the world. Sometime later, I got a $50 fine for fare evasion on the Q53 bus, despite the fact that I had paid the fare. I have a 45-minute version of that story. If you'd like to hear it, you can get it at the merch table. You don't have to buy anything at the merch table. I'm happy to just complain. Shocking thing to learn from a singer-songwriter. Speaking about getting a fine for fare evasion, for a fare that I did pay on a bus that I'd written in OLG2. The song's called Forgiveness is Hard. Played for the bus police. I don't know how many things you have to do wrong in the regular police to be the bus police, but I don't carry grudges, you know. I let them carry me.
Forgiveness is hard, it's not easy to do. Anger lights a fire, and that fire warms you till your blood begins to boil and your heart beats black and blue. Forgiveness is hard, it is not easy to do. Nihilism's easy, can be hard to resist. Lies down beside you and whispers with a kiss. Have you heard the news, my love? All is emptiness. Nihilism's easy, can be hard to resist. I still believe love is king. I still believe love is king. Forgiveness is hard, it's not easy to do. Anger lights a fire, that fire warms you till your blood begins to boil and your heart beats black and blue. Forgiveness is hard, it is not easy to do. I still believe love is king, greater than fear or hate. Any of these things, I still believe love is king, greater than God or country. Any of these things, I still believe love is king. I still believe love is king.
Thank you. I co-wrote this next one with my friend Mick Flannery. Mick Flannery's a great songwriter from Ireland. We were on tour together a few years ago. It was a few months after my uncle Desi had died, and I was telling him lots of stories about Desi, including one of how he survived the Vietnam War despite the fact that his entire platoon did not. It's a very, 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 very long story that we've compressed into like a 2.5 minute song. You probably need to buy the record to get the full understanding. Or you can ask me, I'll tell you the story after I've told my 45-minute story about the bus. This is called Out the Light. There's an expression in the Irish language, vuach an solas, which means to like extinguish. It's like a real physical extinguishing of like what you might do, like quenching, sort of, like what you might do to a candle. Popping into my mind, when I'm speaking Irish, I want to give a shout out to Brendan O'Shea and Philip Marshall, who are here tonight. They're playing here on Sunday with Mick Lynch, and that's really a world-class bill, so you should come, you should tell all your friends and tell them it was nearly as good as the gig with Niall Connolly and his band last week. My joke went down well, that's fine. So I say myself and Mick Flannery wrote this, but the full truth is, we're all friends here, the full truth is that I stole the first 2 lines from my daughter, something she said to me when she was about 3. Mick Flannery has had 3 #1 albums in Ireland. My 10th album comes out on May 1st, but I think my 3-year-old wrote the best lyric in it. When I am begging, you are small, I'll take care of you, is what my child said to me just now. Split my world in two.
Out the light, walk outside, thank the stars above, and every kind of messy road that leads to love. In 1965, the lights went out on New York City. Brendan took a notion to climb out through the roof. Lay there staring at the night, listening to the silence. When he got up to return, he slipped and fell down from the side. Out the light, walk outside, thank the stars above, and every kind of messy road that leads to love. If you hadn't fallen from that roof, you blessed fool, never would have sent your brother home from there, thinking he was coming back to say goodbye to you, while his whole platoon spilled blood into the land. You didn't die, you saved his life. Later he would wed and have a child. My cousin Jen, Jen's best friend, beside me now, the mother to the apple of my eye. Out the light, walk outside, thank the stars above, and every kind of messy road that leads to love. Out the light, walk outside, thank the stars above, and every kind of messy road that leads to love. Thank you. This is called Kind to Everyone. It's on the B-side of The Patience of Trees, available for purchase at Deft. And like Julian, another secret, I told you that I had a new album that comes out on May 1st. I do, that much is true. But I am from the future. And I have some of the new albums with me, even though they don't exist in the world yet. You could be 3 weeks ahead of the cool kids and pick up a copy of There's So Much More to See, the 10th album by New York-based Cork singer-songwriter Niall Connolly, which arrived today. It arrived today. It's your chance to buy the freshest album. If I was one of the consummate pros that I pretend to be, I would just store them under my bed for 3 weeks. I don't have that kind of space under my bed. I don't have that kind of space in my bank account. So 3 weeks ahead of time, they're available. But if you want to play by the rules, you can get one of the earlier albums, which features this song, Kind to Everyone.
trees. Can everyone? Can everyone? Can everyone? Thank you very much. That's Chris Foley on guitar. Back to the misery. This is called May the 12th, 1916, a song for James Connolly. This one came about as a result of a phone call from Susan McKeown, a great Dublin singer, asked me to write a song to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the execution of James Connolly. James Connolly, of course, one of the leaders of the 1916 Rising in Ireland, also a great trade unionist. It's sung from the perspective of his daughter Nora and his wife Lily. I'm trying to get it into the Irish folk canon, and one of the ways you do that, of course, is by having people sing it, so if you feel like joining in, please do. What's that? Yeah, this is on Dream Your Way Out of This One. Thanks for asking. Can we get a round of applause for Julia on sound, please? Thank you, Julia. I got a lot of things to worry about in this life. I don't worry about a sound when I come to comedy. It's nice.
Well, my father fought for justice, for our country to be free. He was my father first and foremost. And I sat on his knee. I remember his voice and the words he said to me. Before my father, he went down in history. To the mill owner, to the factory girls, they'll be singing here no more. The factory girls in unison, they walked on out the door. Do not tell us when to talk, do not tell us when to sing. As long as we have voices, our voices will be king. And Nora, don't you cry, Nora, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Well, my father, he was wounded Easter 1916, stretchered by a boy of only 14. That boy tried to take the bullets meant for me. As long as we have boys like that, our country will be free. And Nora,
such a strange and sorry sight. Oh, Lily, you know that this means goodbye, but Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Said the nurse, I'm bound to search you, but I do not think I can. I see not prisoner, but virtuous, proud family man. There's little I can do now, I will do what I can. I carried my wounded father, tied him to his final chair. Said, Father, all the wishes for your killer, say a prayer. Well, my father fought for justice, for all workers to be free. He said, I pray for all men who must do their duty. Ah, Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Oh, Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Said my father to the factory girls, your cause is just and right. It's a battle we won't win, but a battle we must fight. When you go back, hold your head high and sing your song out proud, that it might echo 100 years from now. And Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Oh, Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of lives. Oh, Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of life. Oh, Lily, don't you cry. Lily, don't you cry. I have lived the fullest of life. Thank you so much. This is called Some of Our Parts. This is from an album I released in 2010, recorded with my friend E.W. Harris. It's the first one I recorded when I moved to America. I did a few before that in Ireland, but I recorded this with E.W. Harris in a studio that was approximately the size of myself and E.W. Harris, though most days it felt smaller. And it was in part of Williamsburg where the train is overground, and you can hear, if you listen closely, you can hear the trains in the background. I've always known that, but what I noticed only recently is that a lot of the songs are the same tempo as the train too. If you have a trumpet, there's a good chance to join in. It's good to be back in your town. I know a lot has happened since the last time I was around, but tonight's gonna be just fine. We got friends like family in Japan are playing real tight. Breathe in the graffiti, the canal.
remain so full of gaps. It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense. But we're doing our best. Ba ba da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba da ba. Find out in the schoolyard. Tall words for smaller boys. You better fight smart. So you learn to be funny, to be fast, when to be silent, and you know when to react. Without the strangest kind act, like the flowers that somehow grow between the tracks. It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense, but we're doing our best. Ba ba da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba da ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba da ba. I told the world how I felt. In 6-inch letters wrote the words in wet cement. Then I weaved your name into my flag. I sailed the 7 seas and I nailed it to my mast. Breathe out your every need. You sad, sad songs you can leave the singing me. It doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense, but we're doing our best. Ba ba da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba da ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba. Ba da ba. We're more than the sum of our parts. More than the sum, more than the sum of our hearts. More than the sum of our parts. More than the sum, more than the sum of our hearts. Ba 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 da da da. Ba 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 da da. Ba 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 Sulfur, sulfur glow, but slow and fast, you are no match for my callous fingertips. Still I try not to hold, sometimes I hold, sometimes I hold too tight. When I hold you tight, I always lose my grip. And the flame that came from the hill far away will find the oil slick. If we must explode, if we must come
was all broken down by the side of the road, like some sad old country song, walking home, home, home in borrowed clothes. Well, I try not to hold, sometimes I hold, sometimes I hold too tight. When I hold too tight, I always lose my grip. And the flame that came from the hill far away will find the oil straight. If we must explode, if we must combust, won't you wait, 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 We're invincible, invincible, no more. We're invincible, invincible, no more. Invincible, invincible, no more. Invincible, invincible, no more. That was definitely a caffeine influenced tempo there. I nearly fell over. I can't even blame anyone else. We're going to do one more, then we're going to take a short break. Enough time for you to go to the bar, talk to your friends. If you like, come to the merch table, where, as I said, I have the fresh, and you have the chance. You can buy a record off me today and I will sign it saying that it was bought on the day that it arrived. And that it's going to be worth like $1 more immediately. Immediately. This is called Skin and Bones. So we'll take a short break after this. A lot of people these days, they say, I'd love to buy a record or a CD, but I don't have a record player or a CD player. I'll remind you that that's the answer to a different question. You're not required to show evidence of owning a CD player or a record player to purchase a CD or a record. It's absolutely fine to buy a CD or a record and hold it in your hand while listening to us on Spotify. In fact, you can buy my record and hold it in your hand while listening to Brendan O'Shea on Spotify. It's fine. I don't mind. You don't mind, Brendan, right? He doesn't mind either. Yeah, see. And then you can buy his on Sunday and listen to me on Spotify. And it all works out. It balances out, you know? We're just trying to create a healthy ecosystem here, you know? This is called Skin and Bones. I'm going to try to center myself and do it at the correct tempo. So yeah, we'll take like 15 minutes, 12. We'll take 12 to 15 minutes after this.
Woke up, the home written backwards on my cheek. Feeling like a cryptic crossword glue, like a jigsaw, missing piece. Staying up all night isn't gonna make it last. Worrying about it isn't gonna bring it back. I feel like I am do it without fear. I wanna do it without shame. I wanna do it every single day. Every day. Every day. Without love, without love, we are just skin and bones. Blood, without love, without love. Thank you very much. We'll take a short break. That's Brandon Wild and Niall Connolly, Chris Foley. My name is Niall Connolly. We'll see you backstage.